me do that one more time. GM Farcaster. It is Friday, August 16th, and you are here with Nowdish Prop and Adrian for 29 minutes-ish Farcaster news to start your day. Probably a little less news and a little more fun today. And now you know why we do this in the morning. Because we just had a million different tech issues all at once. Like, you'll notice my lighting for some weird reason is completely off and it keeps going in and out. She's having all kind of internet issues. It's been a bit of a day, but we're really glad to be here with you. We were testing. Adrian was going to be traveling this morning, so we thought this would be a fun thing to do, is to do a little GM in the PM. So we're going to start with our sort of usual shenanigans, and then we're going to be bringing a few people up. I'm looking to see if we have a couple people who are supposed to be hopping by. And when I see them in the chat, we will be bringing them up in a little bit. So hopefully we can get them here, and then we'll just see if anybody else wants to pop on up. So, but first, a few fun things. I had to share this because this just like caught my attention. I created random errands onigiri. Which onigiri would you like to eat? Either you've got Ran or you've got Dan. And I was just blown away by this piece of food art. I thought it was pretty impressive. So that was amazing. So very well done.
When I saw that, I did think of you because it reminded me of your tattoos.
I was thinking the same thing. I was like, you know, my tattoos could not hold up to this. Like, this is next level impressive. So that was I don't know if it's Nato-san or Nato-san, but amazing. Just amazing effort here. So loved that. Also want to share this from Sarah Mel from Snickerdoodle, wishing I was back in Toronto at another Far IRL event instead of at my computer all day and night. I'm the mom who gets pictures of everyone but me. I know I'm going to miss tagging some folks, and I'm really sorry for that. And this looked like a blast up in Toronto. I know our friend Lynx was there and had a lot to do with the organizing of a lot of these events. So loved it. And he said it was a blast. So amazing. So loved seeing this, loved seeing these pictures on the timeline. Also want to show this from Seneca, my friend from Nouns. You can now add rounds to reward your community directly from Fast via composer actions. In the example below, I created a round to reward Seneca meme lords, 0.01 ETH daily to make philosophy memes. So if you're not familiar with rounds, it's a way for a channel to sort of create a contest where the likes are the way in which people win. And it's pretty fun. So go test it out. If you have a channel and you want to reward your followers in that channel, this is a great way to do that. And speaking of rounds, right now we have a round happening in the Hire channel. So if you are playing around with MoshiCam and the new stickers, there is a sticker pack of Hire stickers, and you can go in there and mess around with that and post it in the Hire channel and possibly get rewarded some, I assume, Hire. I assume for this one you're getting Hire, some Hire token. And this was a little shout out to Chic Bangs and Hire FM, which launches next week. And I hired my PFP for her, and then I put it into MoshiCam and had some fun. So there you go. So that's sort of our like nice, fun, easy stuff. And then I just have one last topic for all the rest of these links. Any guesses from the chat what the rest of this segment is going to be talking about? What do you think? What's been happening on the timeline and every other cast that I see? Anybody for Moxie Jail? Moxie Jail, anybody? It's spam
Every
time
now and
again.
then, every now and then we get a meta.
Every
We get
now.
a current.
Oh, hold on. Well, since you put it that way, I wasn't going to start here, but every now and then. So, yes to crypto. I love you and hate you for this. It was funny, but also the freaking song got stuck in my head. So, to the lovely, lovely song. Yeah, a little turnaround. Every now and then I get a little bit moxie. Oh my God. But anyway, yeah, we've got a meta happening, and that is spam. Spam gel, moxie gel, all the things. So I do want so I want to mention this this first before we jump into that actually. Um, Zora Rodeo Interface all leverage public Farcaster data to solve the cold start problem for their own private social networks with their own follow and comment systems. Follows and comments in these apps aren't published back to Farcaster. Is this a phase or a broader indication of the long-term incentives around it? So one, I think this is fine. Permissionless means you can build however you want. Two, for those who have been around for a while, Varun correctly predicted this, and there was a lot of pushback from devs. Remember AMPs? I don't remember AMPs. Do you remember AMPs? I don't remember AMPs. Protocol follows only work if large app like WordCast is willing to follow that norm. To be clear again, these apps should build however they want and should not feel pressure to ask users for signers add back to the graph if that's not beneficial to them. So this is a little different than where I thought it was going. I forgot about this one cast, but I don't remember AMP. I don't remember that at all. I don't know why. Or maybe I'm just misremembering.
Because it was probably a dev conversation about hubs
It could have been.
and decision. So
it could have nothing to do with me. I don't know.
Accelerated mobile pages, AMP.
Okay. All right. Got it. So Google AMP. Okay. Got it. So I do think, yeah, there are some situations where people are using the social graph, and great. I mean, I love seeing that along with sign in with Farcaster and then not necessarily circling it back. But I think that's fine. I don't have really a big issue with that. Do you?
No, I think it's totally fine. I think this is a super serious conversation that you're throwing on a Friday night that's supposed to be fun. So we might have to talk about this on Monday too.
Okay.
I have a lot. Did you sign up for Rodeo?
I did not yet. I did not get a chance to do that. I know. I'm a little slow on that
I played
one.
with it yesterday.
Oh, cool. Very cool. And how was it?
So it was fun. We can, and I also listened to the, I guess the founder of Rodeo was on Callow's podcast. He was also,
I saw that.
And I don't know if you know that he was the founder of Foundation.
I did know that. Yeah.
And okay. So really, if you want to kind of understand, I mean, I love the long form podcast to really get into founder heads and understand. So Rodeo is cool. If you don't know, if you're on Farcaster, everyone on Farcaster has, it's not open to everyone yet, but everyone on Farcaster is allow listed in. So you have an invite. What was I going to say? Oh, no, but I just wanted, going back to the whole, how you use the Farcaster graph. I don't love the idea that every time you're using an app, you have to give it a signer and then it's, can post on your behalf and this. And I don't mind the idea of using different aspects of Farcaster. So maybe some app wants to use it just for followers. Maybe you're not going to post back to hubs. Maybe you want, like, I don't know. I think it's totally fine and cool. And also it's too early to know what works. So let it happen. And who knows? And maybe there ends up being an app that takes the Farcaster graph as a cold start, doesn't push back to hubs, ends up being bigger. We've seen this in other kind of open source projects. And then, it kind of forks it and that becomes something even bigger. You have no idea. So you gotta, it's permissionless. You gotta let people just build.
We'll know soon enough, I suppose. So, yeah, but it's good to see all the things happening. So moving on, our last topic, which will take the rest of our little news time, and then we're going to start bringing some folks up. Fair warning: if you keep replying with slop to accounts, by the way, there's a new slop channel if you haven't seen it. Slop to accounts that don't follow or engage with you, you'll end up labeled as spam. Be thoughtful. The GPT assisted attempts are obvious. They are obvious, but I have a feeling that very soon they won't be so obvious. Be thoughtful. Okay, to have a few replies that don't get any engagement, but if you reply to pretty much every cast and nothing, the problem is most likely you. No one is entitled to another person's attention. We've heard this before. I did like some of the discussion that came from this cast. So this was from Steven Sill. Is it possible for an account labeled as spam to be unlabeled in the future? Is this process manual or automatic? Is there a dispute process for accounts that have been labeled as spam? Is there a way for an account to see they have been labeled as spam? And by the way, there is a way. Actually, I saw somebody had created something that could see this, but I just don't know if that's accurate. So possible, manual,
I heard it's
nothing
DM
formal.
Kia.
No. DM Kia. Okay.
Kia.eth. And I
just
can't
have to
remember
DM
who
Kia.
posted this. Yeah, DM Kia. And they will take
And he
care
will
of it.
confirm whether or not we are spam. And then, yeah.
And
So
tell them we sent you.
And then this also kind of sparked some confusion as well. But this was also great from Meritus. You aren't entitled to other people's attention, but Farcaster still gives you the opportunity to. Treat it like the privilege it is, and you won't lose it. Repeatedly bug the shit out of people, and you probably will. I mean, that's pretty clear. Like, that's really the issue. This was from Rish. Spam detection is heavily weighted on reply spam. Won't mark you as spam simply if you connect an app to your account. You actually have to spam someone. You can revoke individual apps at app.nanr.com. And this was in response to type of. And this is what I mean by there's some confusion. So type of had said, not knowing what the spam algo is led me to disconnect all connected apps. Not sure if it was a good move, but would rather play it safe. Using multiple apps through Nanar, not being able to or knowing how to disconnect individual apps made me feel like removing all of them was the better option. So I don't think this is necessary and does not really impact at all. It's more about the behavior. But there has been a lot of confusion. And this is also from Dan. This was from Dexter. I think if we use other FC clients, there's a risk of marked as spam. Also, most of notifications, comments, likes, and follows are hidden in WC. This is incorrect. So just want to clear up some things as much as we can, because we only know so much. But using the, oh, there it is. Yeah, Peachy has just put, there is something that can help you see if you are showing up as a spammer from the ham community. I think there's just a little overreaction to it, but also concern that you're being marked as spam. If you're replying to people constantly with, wow, wow, and other low effort replies, this is nothing new. It's just another moment. Nothing new, just another moment that and people do not like that, and they aren't reacting to it, or they report you for continuously doing it, and it feels almost like harassment. You're going to get marked as spam. So don't do that. Welcome to the Don't Do This channel. There you go. And there's a frame by MBR. That's where I saw it. And it can tell you if you're marked as spam, and it puts you on this website. So there you go. So look for MBR's frame. So I'm not having this problem because I'm not spamming people.
Because you're not spammy.
Because I'm not spammy. Just don't be spammy, people. It's not hard. It's not hard to be not spammy. And then, yes to crypto. This was hilarious. But this was even better. So there's also Moxie Jail. So Moxie Jail comes into play if you are being spammy. So, whoops, I just lost this. Hold on. This is what I wanted to show. Stop Moxie baiting in public reply, guys. It's a surefire way to be placed in Moxie Jail. And Oxen's response to this was hilarious. Day 29 of Moxie Jail. They're treating me well as can be expected. The food is inedible, but I have my writings and my thoughts. I count the rats as they scurry. Some of them I've named, one after you, Ratmona. At night, I hear the lamentations of the cursed echoing, the chorus of the damned. I'm not a spammer. Do not weep for me, for my soul finds solace with God. Yours forever. Oxen, please respond as I still earn Moxie for responses. I chose to respond with a little quote from Shawshank Redemption. Should you not be familiar, he was indeed familiar. So, I only thought like 9% of us would get that, but I knew Oxen would. So that
has your behavior changed? So, Prof, has your behavior changed since Moxie came out?
Not in the way that I reply or cast or anything like that. Where it has changed slightly is I do hesitate at times to like a reply if I either don't know the person or I feel like it's just an engagement tactic. So there's not very often, but it has happened where I've been like, I'm not going to even, I'm not going to entertain that. But not from what I'm doing in terms of casting and replying. Nothing's changed for me. It's the same. So how about you?
So no more like liberally?
I'm still liking liberally. I still like liberally. I'm just a little bit more aware. I'm a little bit more aware. So I might take a beat at times, but I still like liberally. And I still comment liberally, all that. I still reply back to most people who reply to me. So it's very rare that I won't unless I feel like, okay, you're not a real person. And that's been that's been pretty much the same all along too. If I think it's a bot, I don't reply. But now I'm a little bit more like, I don't know, just a little more skeptical, I guess, that's probably the word. And how about you? Any changes in your behavior?
I don't think at all. I don't think it's changed my behavior. I'm not really paying attention to it. Haven't launched any fan tokens. I haven't bought any fan tokens. Wow. And if it's meant to be in the background rewarding kind of organic engaging content, then it hasn't changed.
That's ideally what should be happening, is that it's rewarding the actual good content. And I do think I have felt like the content on the timeline has been good, whether that's the algo, whether that's people stepping up their game. I don't know which, but I feel like we're in a good place for this. So let's keep going with that, and like just try not to like the ones that are just a little too low effort.
For Sparks, is this an opportunity to do a quick little reminder? Your Moxie, it's not an allowance, so it's your rank score. I'm not your FAR score. Is that what determines what your value of your likes are?
I don't even know how exactly that happens, but it is.
Okay, so Sparks says, I'm a liberal liker, but my likes are valueless. And it's because we know the higher the rank, the more value you're getting when someone engages. So I just want to let Sparks know, but also anyone who's listening, if you're checking your FAR score value or your rank, that does not determine your worth.
Does not determine your worth, Sparks. You are not valueless. I disagree.
Yes, you are valuable.
You are valuable, very valuable. FAR score value of reply is 5x your score. So there you go. So that's pretty cool. I still am learning because I am still stuck in my Moxie purgatory due to my issues with my safe, which is now gone. To be clear, it's gone, but I still have to fix the initial problem. So I've been a little slow to get that done. Sorry, Alex. I know you sent me stuff like 2 weeks ago, but life happened, but I will get there. So I will buy fan tokens and I will do all those things. I just haven't been able to yet. So I've been sort of sitting on the sidelines, just kind of watching it all go by. But it's been fun. So yeah, Moxie purgatory. There you go. Let's inspire some art. I'm so glad Peachy's here, and we're going to bring Peachy up in just a minute to talk a little bit about purple. But it's really nice to see Sparks and Just Build and Peachy and some of the folks who normally can't be here in the morning. joining us tonight. So this is the bonus of doing the evening, the GM in the PM, so to speak. It's how we judge your whole identity now. Just build, you're worth more. You're worth more. We promise. You promise. Yeah. I promise.
You're a whole person. You're kind. You're caring. You're good enough. People like you.
Good enough. Yeah, people like
with
you.
or without moxie.
It's true. This is a little bit more on that. Oops, let me actually pull it up on the screen. That would help. From Dan, in replying to Wake, which actually this from Wake was really good. Good example of replying to every cast with a low effort reply, even if positive, well-intentioned. It's fine to do occasionally. Some of you are worried about you'll be misclassified as bots, which tells me you don't really know what Moxie Farmer bots look like. Moxie Farmer bots saturate cast replies with mechanical content, such as below. So there you go. And you can see that sometimes where if it's an AI one, it picks up words and they make no sense. When you read the reply, it's like, oh, you can tell it's AI just pulling things together. So yeah, don't do that. And then lastly, this from Dan, what if instead of incentivizing for engagement, we can incentivize the identification of spam? Would that reduce spam? And Dan's reply was simply perverse incentive Wikipedia. I did not know what this is. And then today or yesterday, I learned about eradicating cobras in India, which made me think of python bounties in Florida. And now I probably won't be able to sleep tonight due to snake nightmares. Thank you, Dan. So what that meant was that Wikipedia link brings you to the situation where in India, they incentivize people to catch and kill cobras. And then what happened was people started breeding cobras that could be caught, killed, and turned in for a bounty. So then they got overrun by cobras. Like it worked at first. And again, it's one of those show me the incentive, I'll show you the outcome. So that's the concern there.
So if you're paying people to identify spam, there will all of a sudden be a market for spammers.
Exactly.
More than there is today. So
exactly. Exactly. So what we're going to do now is bring up a couple folks to tell us what they're building, working on, chat about, and I want to see if I can bring Peachy up first. We're also doing some testing. And this is like one of these moments where I don't know if this is going to work, where we're using some of the tools that are inside the webinar studio and including invite to studio that allows us to do it right from the chat. So hopefully Peachy, hopefully you got that note that I just sent you and link that should allow you to jump into the studio. And we're also supposed to have Horsefax coming by, I believe.
Horsefax sends his regrets.
Oh, no, that's a bummer. Okay. And so I do want to bring up Peachy and then links. If you're still around, I would love to bring you up to chat about Toronto and all the fun things that happen there. And then if anyone else is in the chat, has something they want to chat about, drop it in the comments and we'll see who else we can bring up. You need to be in the StreamYard chat for us to be able to do that. So just FYI. And Peachy, let me know if you're having any issues and I can send you a different link because we have not tried this before. So hopefully this is working. Just sent it again, just in case. You guys are getting live experimentation here. So hopefully this will,
and hopefully this will work. Who is build your own client? I feel like I think you're a friend. And my guess is your Farcaster name is something different, but
that's funny.
But welcome to the stream.
That's really funny. That's really funny. It might be Ran. Maybe it's Ran. It might be Random Error. It might be. We'll see. Love that. And I also love that we can like put little things on here. Oh, there's Random Arrow. So that was not.
Or you can change your name very, very, very quickly. This is not cryptographically signed. You are not going to fool us. Ran. Fake Ran.
This is the danger. The danger of using the the webinar feature instead of using something cryptographically that you have to sign into. Let me try something else to see if we can get Peachy up here, just in case that's not working. I'm going to go just shoot you a DM as well. Oh, trying a different browser. Okay.
No, Peachy has to get invited again.
Yep. Let me invite you again this way, and
Okay.
let's see if this works. Thank you for being our guinea pigs. We appreciate it. So next week. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say, Lynx is free if his kids don't pop in. Willy Wonka's in the chat, who can shill some noun space.
Willie's shilling some noun space. So that's so funny. So my name is Lynx. So this is why we will be back on Unlonely next week. We also may continue to use the webinar feature. We're getting ready for a 6-week session where we're going to be helping brands onboard and learn about Farcaster. And we're doing this in conjunction with Snickerdoodle. So your guys are getting the alpha, but this is why we've been sort of playing around with the webinar feature to make sure that, it should work on Safari. That's really weird. Hold on, Peachy. I'm going to send you a different link just in case. So we've been testing this out and wanted to make sure that we could get these things to work. And I'm glad we did, because obviously we're having some issues right now. So I'm glad we were doing this, but we're really excited to be working with Snickerdoodle. If you are not familiar, we'll be talking more about them in the next couple weeks. All right, now I have to find Peachy. There she is. Peachy, I'm going to send this to you as a DM, and maybe that will work differently. I don't know. We'll see. But we were hoping we could just bring people up right from the chat. That was the ideal situation. Of course, now I can't even get to my chat. There we go. Let's see if that works. Yeah, so we're really excited. The other thing that Snickerdoodle's been doing a lot of is doing FAR IRL, which is Farcaster meetups, and supporting those meetups. So if you have something that you want to sponsor, if you have an event that's happening, if you have a meetup that you want to do that's connected with a conference, or even just in your area, definitely reach out to FAR IRL. They are happy to chat with you and see if that's something they can support and help you fund that. So very cool. And they're fantastic. What brands are you talking to? Oh, Ran. I don't know if it's really you or not, but this is what Just Build said. What brands are you talking to? And Rand DeMero answered, OnlyFans. No. No. This is actually going to be, I believe, open to anyone, but there are certain folks that they're working with that needed more assistance with learning all about Farcaster. So if you have somebody who's fairly new to Farcaster or is not on at all, and you would love to see them sort of jumping onto Farcaster, this will be a great series. It'll be a 6-week series, once a week, where we'll be chatting all things Farcaster as we do. So, oh, Just Build. That's really funny. Okay, so we're waiting.
I've been waiting. You can take the prof out of the university, but you can't take the teaching out of prof. I don't know. What is it? I
don't know.
I'll come back.
Prof out of prof, I guess. Yeah. Once a prof, always a prof. I'm looking forward to this. I was doing some slides today and getting things ready for this little course we're going to do, and I'm excited. So it's going to be fun. All right, Peachy, we've lost you. We don't know what's happening. Peachy, I did send you a DM as well with it. And I'm going to try Lynx. I don't know your name now. Can you go back to, oh, there you are. Okay, wait, I found you. I'm going to see if I can bring you up on stage this way. Let's see if this works for you. And if not, I will send you a link also. But I'm hoping we can do this from here. This would be ideal. Oh, we got somebody. It's Lynx. Okay, so that worked for Lynx, so that's good to know. Welcome. And we'll bring Peachy up whenever she can get here. Glad to see you. So you had fun this week. Do you want to tell us about the Futurist Conference and all the things you were doing with, and who you got to chat with and all those fun things?
Sure. I mean, the conference itself was a bit of a shell of its former self. As far as I
Really?
remember, I've only been twice, but it was definitely a discussion topic that came up. I mean, it was a conference that once hosted Vitalik, and now, I mean, I literally went into the stage, and the person on the front was like, "And this is why fiat money is not just a means of exchange." And I was just like, "What? This is the conversation we're having? I feel like we had this conversation like 5 years ago." And then the next speaker was like, "Here's my meme coin," and I was like, this is not great."
So not really futurist, but more like past-ish.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, so this is the first conference with like a new organizer, so maybe they're just like getting into the swing of things. But I mean, the vibe of the conference itself was decent. I mean, there's a pool, there's cabanas, there's like all that kind of
Oh,
stuff, which is kind of nice.
fancy. That's
It's all
fancy.
on the waterfront, which is nice.
Aw.
I think the highlights were the events that we did, and the Pizza Dow event was really good as well. So that was pretty cool.
Pizza dough event's always great. And you had the Kadima. I think that's how you say it. Folks who are doing like the,
With
I don't know,
kendamas,
kendamas. Thank you.
yes,
Kendamas.
I went to the
Kendamas.
Nounish Kendamas crew, and they were honestly awesome. Every time they showed up, I was just like, "Oh yeah, here comes a party." Uh, I don't know if you saw on the Nouns channel, I posted like that was just like a small subset of tricks he was doing at the Pizza Dow
Yes,
party.
it was so cool. Yeah, and we did show it the other day. I don't have it handy right now, but we did show it on the show the other day. And by the way, there's somebody in the chat now called the Real Links, but also says I am a nerd. So I assume maybe he's
It could be me. That
could
does
be
sound like me.
It's the woofy. Stop
could be
trolling.
Woofy.
The
I
woofy.
think it's. I was thinking it might be actually nerd. It could be I speak nerd. That's possible.
I've been known to do exactly that whenever we're playing board games, and like I will show up as someone else's name.
That's so
So
funny. Yeah.
it could very well be nerd.
It could be. So I hope we can get Peachy up here too. So you had Pizza Dow event, you had, I know there was a happy hour before the Pizza Dow event that looked like a lot of fun with the Snickerdoodle crew, and then a coffee the next morning. Anything that you took away from the actual conference that was futuristic?
Not really. The thing that I thought was really great was just like connecting with other builders more than anything else, and that's what I think the Farcaster events really did. And the people who came to the Farcaster events who were not builders. I mean, the thing about Blockchain Futurist is that it's like a very corporate event, more so than like any of the other ETH events you might have seen. And my kids are here, so I do got to go pretty soon.
Okay.
But
All right, so
I'll just say that it's like a bunch of VCs talking to each other, right? And so the nice thing about those Farcaster events is it's like a place where you can actually talk to builders.
Yeah. I think that's a really big difference for the events that I've went to this year. FarCon, ETH Denver, a lot of builder energy. Things like Consensus, not as much. Very corporate energy. And it was a very obvious, very stark difference. And I'd say ETH Denver is actually combo, but there's still a lot of that builder energy too. So very different. And I heard that the Bitcoin conference was very corporate feel as well. So
I think Futurist is a bit of a Bitcoin maxi conference. Anyways, I gotta go.
All right. See ya.
Later.
Happy Friday. Happy Friday. So still hoping that we can get Peachy up here to chat about purple, but also Chris Corella, I see you. If you want to pop up, we'd love to have you up as well. Welcome, Miss Angel. We love all the things you do. Your frame was, we were showing your frame the other day as well, which was very fun, and like gave this little predictor frame and things like that. Yay, Peachy's here. Here we go. Yay, welcome, Peachy. You made it. You look adorable, by the way.
Oh my gosh, can you guys hear me? Is this really working finally?
It's working. It's working. Yay. Welcome.
Okay,
welcome and happy Friday. There's a little HF for you.
Oh my God, so cute.
So cute. So I'm glad that, like, you know what, Chris Corella, I was going to bring you up to talk about purple, but I'm glad I don't have to, because it's time to pass that torch, and I think that torch has been passed. So Peachy, can you chat a little bit about first of all, purple, for those who are don't know and are new, and there were some folks actually asking this question on the timeline. I think it was Renee was one of them. Purple is the DAO that was created to support builders in the Farcaster ecosystem. And there's been some changes lately in a very positive direction of sort of adjusting some things around there. So do you want to give us a quick update about what Purple's been up to and what's happening now?
Sure. So Purple, as I try to think of it, is a way to really signal that you are all in on Farcaster. So I think the best way to have probably done that was to invest in Farcaster in their latest round. But if that was not an option for you, the second best thing you can do for Farcaster is to join the original Farcaster DAO, which is Purple. And this is another way to basically pool money and resources with other people who believe Farcaster is the future and help fund the Farcaster you want to see. And what I really appreciate that about this is that everyone in the DAO is builders with a capital B. So they're not just devs, they're not just coders, they're not just founders, they're artists, they're creatives, they're collaborators, they're collectors. It's really the entire flywheel of the Farcaster ecosystem. But I think the biggest problem is that most people who joined Farcaster in 2024 don't really know about Purple. They know a lot about Base. They know a lot about the people who have been cheerleading projects that kind of started in 2024, but Purple precedes all of this. And Purple was even the first channel on Farcaster, which I just learned. So it's really been there, since the beginning of this building of all these Legos and railroad tracks. And I found out HeroCast was actually funded through Purple. Like, there are so many things we take for granted today that only came around because of that.
The very first funding that GM Farcaster got was from Purple.
Oh my gosh! See, here's another great story.
Yep,
So
we love Purple.
Yeah. I love it too. And it's just such a great way to connect with a lot of people who really aren't in your bubble or your network. I feel like the algo is always in flux, but it really puts us in bubbles and we have a hard time getting out of those bubbles. And Purple's a great way to do that because you find a ton of new people to follow. You find a ton of new people to engage with who you might not have otherwise known. And I'm just really excited about bringing the 2024 class of Farcasters into Purple because I think they're going to bring a new energy and a new excitement that just hasn't been there in the past few months because I feel like most of the people who knew about Purple had already been in it. And now it's just kind of re-educating the masses that this really cool DAO exists and letting them see, the types of projects that are getting funded, which I think has changed. Like, I think it's gone from just, software to now like meetups, and Purple helped fund FarCon. Like, it's really leaning into how do we bring more people to Farcaster? How do we make these IRL connections so that you can then go back and build URL? Because as much as we get to know each other through little PFPs, it changes so dramatically when you can have an in-person conversation or even a voice conversation. And so I'm happy to see things like Farhouse and Tavern really taking off because we're getting to know each other on a new level. And so I'm the revenue chair for Purple, which means it's my job to make sure these tokens get bid on. So you're going to see me cast about it a lot. Apologies in advance, but I really want to make sure that no more tokens get burned and that they get in the hands of the next generation of builders with a capital B on Farcaster who want to lean in and want to be here, but maybe need a little network and a little support to kind of bring their talents to fruition and to the forefront.
I love it. I love it. So in my other world, outside of GM Farcaster, I am the community resident for the, I'm looking for the purple frame here so I can show it on here. There we go. I'm the community resident for Nouns Builder, and Purple was the very first DAO that was created on Nouns Builder, even before Builder DAO, which is the DAO for Nouns Builder, which is pretty cool. So it's definitely close to my heart, and I love I use Purple as the example to pretty much all other DAOs. And I can't find the auction frame. Why am I not finding the auction frame? We need to pin this to the channel. We need the auction frame pinned to the channel. There we go.
That would be lovely.
Yeah, we need to make that happen because that would be super helpful. But Yeah, and we need to bring the on-chain data, I agree, into there. So let us know if there is something that I can help with or that Nouns Builder can help with to make sure that Purple is succeeding. I love that there's definitely in the past year, the legal structure has been adjusted and the art changed. I think that was about a year ago. And then is somebody pretending to be me now? I did not write that. Okay, we know the problem with using the webinar now. Adrian.
Identity. I mean, if you
Identity is
don't
a
own
problem.
if you don't own your identity, then any a-hole can
That wasn't
claim to
me.
be you.
That was not me. But that was funny. So yeah, so I definitely want to make sure that we're, supporting Purple as much as we can because they've been an incredible flagship and flag bearer for Nouns Builder. And I'm literally still am not typing that. That is not me. I don't know who
We
you
know
are.
it's not you.
It's
So
probably
the way
Ran.
we know it's not
It's
you
Ran.
is there's no noggles at the end of the name.
There's no noggles.
You
Exactly.
would never Nounish
Exactly.
prof is one word with noggles.
There you go.
By the way,
I'll
as
just
a
show you.
complete aside, and this is, I was listening to,
This
I
is
love the way,
me. Noggles on always. There you go.
keep the noggles on.
Keep
I
the
love, by
noggles
the way,
on.
that Kristen calls you Nounish as your first name.
I know. Always. It's so funny.
And
Yeah, and most people call me Prof, but yeah, she calls me Nounish. There's
I
a few
love
people
it.
who call me Nounish.
That's
So
my favorite.
Peachy, as like the revenue chair, so what kind of help can we give you, and what can we do in terms of helping support Purple and making it successful in 2024?
Oh, I sincerely appreciate that. So one, dropping these little nuggets is amazing because this is the great stuff that I think does really well on Farcaster when you get to tell people these stories of things that happened before they were here and how all of these things like intersect and align. So I just got my first Builder DAO token and I had no idea that like Purple was actually the first thing to
Yeah.
use it. So stuff like that is great. And again, appreciate people. I think the chat's going to get probably invigorated again. And I think that's
Great.
another selling point that I didn't want to push too hard, but I've gotten some encouragement like, hey, let's get that chat popping. So I'm going to, let folks know it's a great way to connect because we've talked a lot and you guys talked a lot, right, about people who are trying to find their place in the Farcaster ecosystem. It's really hard and you kind of have to have a cobble behind you. So I can't think of a better one than Purple. So it's another way like to get connected with new people. I tell everybody, join Hypersubs, join gated chats. They're full of great info. Purple has a phenomenal gated chat. The channel is gated right now, but soon it will not be because I don't want to spill too much tea and steal people's thunder.
Ooh.
But another round is coming for folks to kind of get some funding for what they've been building that's been helping out Farcaster. So I'm encouraging folks to grab their tokens now so that their likes will count in the next round and they can help get funding to hopefully some of the newer folks who have been building because I think the last round that happened was still when Frames was in its infancy. So much has changed in the past 2 to 3 months. And with Moxie in play as well, we're seeing a ton of brand new builders coming up. So I think that will give us another, kind of a base to talk around to say, hey, this is some of the cool stuff that Purple does. Like we're able to put money in builders' pockets directly. And I'm hoping that'll encourage some more folks to apply for grants and, maybe make it a little more transparent that anyone can ask for help from the DAO. And I want to make sure people know that. So unfortunately, you're going to hear me talk about it a lot, but I appreciate when people like and recast. The algo really does like recast and quote cast. So just sharing and amplifying things you see in the Purple channel are going to go a long way. So thank you so much.
And we definitely try to do that. I'm always on the lookout, but if there's ever something specific that you want amplified, please drop it in our DMs and we'll make sure that we share that because we love Purple. So we're big fans.
I will definitely take advantage of your kindness.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, ladies.
Yeah. And
yeah,
Chris
and
Perella
don't.
No, go ahead. Good.
I was gonna say no need to apologize for your pre-apology for casting a lot about Purple. I think people don't know. And I think I'd rather hear about purple than about spam on the timeline and Mox. I don't know. I think it's good information. So definitely cast.
Yeah, Adrian, I actually saw your poll that went up,
Yeah.
and I was like, man, we really needed a way to token gate that poll because several of the people who responded had power badges, and I was like, there's no way you're new in the last 3 months and have a power badge because I ran the numbers and there's only like a handful of people that got power badges. So I looked at the
I cracked
poll
up
and
with
said,
that.
guys, like she said, please don't vote if you're not new. And yeah, so I was like, oh, this is where it's so hard to get data sometimes. So that might be my next thing to ask. Like, can you guys specifically make a poll where you don't have a power badge and can answer?
I think we could have set that up with the poll, right? Can't we?
The other way.
No?
Like you can gate polls to people with power badges, but you
but
can't.
not the other way.
Like, I want high FIDs. I want no power badges. I really wanted to know if you're new, because when I came in, all I saw was purple on my timeline. Like purple was synonymous with Farcaster. It was everywhere, and I don't really see it as much. I'm imagining people are new, probably don't know about it.
I think that this might be the issue too. Like people didn't read it fully, just saw it and press the button. I do want to give a shout out.
Some margin of error.
Yeah, for sure. But it would be it's good to know. I think that purple was so prominent early on because it was so small. We were so small. And so you just saw a lot more about it. There was a lot more energy around it just because there wasn't as much happening to pull attention. Again, we're attention economy. So I love seeing the new energy coming back in to sort of see where we can take it. And also, DAOs are hard. So I'm really glad to see, Chris, I think you had to step away a little bit before other people would actually jump in. And I think that's healthy. That makes it so much healthier for a DAO. And I just want to give a shout out to Chris Corella, amazing founder of Purple. Also was recently at EdCon in Tokyo, talking about Purple, talking about Nouns Builder, also talking about Nouns, and made sure to get some noggles to Vitalik, which was a big moment. So appreciate you there. And we actually were able to sponsor that travel through BuilderDAO, which was great. So love that. And if you're not familiar with Nouns Builder, you can go check that out at nouns.build. And you can find the auction for Purple Air. It's also, I think, still at Purple Construction, or maybe it's not. I'm not sure if that moved over with everything moved to base. If you go to Explore, actually, if you already are in some DAOs, if you go to dashboard, you'll see the DAOs that you are in. You just don't even make so many for me personally. But if you go to Explore, you'll see all the other fun DAOs that are out there. And here's today's Purple that's up there. And this is Base Mingos. That's one that I created because I love flamingos. So that was one of the ones I created very early on for fun and experimentation. But here is today's Purple token. It's a beauty. And this art is by Oxen, our friend Oxen, who we love and who we love on the timeline. So shout out to Oxen. Yeah, purple.construction. You can go directly there to bid on the token. And we'd love to see some new folks bidding. Hey, I'm going to guess this is not Jesse, but if it is, hi, Jesse.
Stop it. This is complete fake
Jesse.
news. Don't it's
not Jesse. It's not Jesse. I think Jesse's too busy, but if it is you, go on up. Give us a request. Peachy, anything else do you know when the grant round is going to go live, perchance?
I think the current chatter is end of August, beginning of September, but we will make a lot of noise about it because we have a special, and again, I don't want to spill too much tea with stuff that may not be public or steal anybody else's thunder, but this grant round is going to be significant because someone else is stepping up to match some funding. So I think this is going to be like a big Farcaster moment for folks who have been building to get some retro funding. So I'm actually really, really excited about this. So it's definitely imminent, and we plan on using rounds again. So again, if you really want to get in and you missed angel investing in Farcaster itself, you can pool your money with the rest of us in the DAO and your likes will count for the next round, which will be a significant amount of ETH to kind of spread out to builders with a capital B, quoting Jesse Pollock, on base.
On base.
Sorry, not on base. I'm based right now, seeing him pop up where he's like, yeah, DM me, come out on base.
It's not him. It's not him. But by the way, Jesse has been on the show before, and if we DM him right now, like maybe he would come by, but I'm not doing it. Jesse, if it's really you DM us, you DC us. You know we're in your DCs.
At least this Jesse is on brand. He's
totally.
very much confusing me with all the base that's popping up. But no, I was trying to say, like, this is going to support all builders on Farcaster, and it should be a significant round, so everyone should get excited, and you'll hear a lot of noise about it when it goes live.
Amazing. I'm excited. I'm really excited. Last time was the first time we actually used rounds for the Purple grant program. The times before that was Prop House, and then that was deprecated. So it's good to see how that's evolving, and I'll be looking forward to seeing the next round. Yeah, and we'll probably be in there. I would assume we will jump in there. So yeah, excited.
Yes, I'm excited. And oh yeah, I love that Yes to Crypto brought this up. So it used to be that Purple was on mainnet and even bidding was significant. And that was like, a hard lift for a lot of folks. But now that it's on base, if you get outbid, you've wasted 2 cents instead of $20 or $30. So it's much, much more accessible, I think. And right now, we've had a few tokens get burned where people didn't bid at all. So you're going to see me posting a lot to try to make sure that doesn't happen. And while I don't want to, encourage crazy bidding wars again, I do want to encourage people to not let tokens go to waste and get in now, because at some point we will have to take a snapshot before that grant funding starts. So if you want your votes to count to see who is going to get that funding for what they've been building on Farcaster, no pressure, but you might want to put in your bids in the next couple days.
There you go. Yep. I think that's a great point. So go bid right now. Right now, this current one is at 0.05 ETH. Go jump in there and snap it up. By the way, one of the things that Chris Barella had done with, I think it was Energy Style, which is a DAO to support artists on Zora's network, was if a token was burned, that it was issued as an open edition. And then some of the creator rewards were then put towards the treasury. So just another idea. Don't let those burned tokens go to waste. There might be a secondary approach. It won't give you a vote in anything, but it would be a nice thing to have in the wallet, and maybe a way that those who have less funds could still support Purple. So just an idea for you, revenue share.
I love that. I will look into it.
Yeah, easy to do. Okay, thank you so much, Peachy. Anything else before we let you head back?
No, just wanted to say thanks for having me on. Really appreciate it. And thank you guys for doing an afternoon session. My mornings are sometimes a little crazy, so this has been really fun to get to watch this live instead of, just on demand. So getting to enjoy the chat too. Thank you so much.
And I love this. Thanks, Peachy. And also, Yes to Crypto, crazy bidding wars. I feel personally attacked. We know how you like to bid. We know how you like to bid, Yes to Crypto, and we love that. We love that about you. Believe me. Thanks so much.
I love that if there's a leaderboard, Yes to Crypto will be on it,
and he will be towards the top. Yes,
I tag him and say, "Hey, just FYI, in case you missed this, there is a leaderboard. You can top today."
That's funny. That's really good. I appreciate that you are antagonizing him. That is fantastic. Speaking of leaderboards, I just want to show this real quick in case nobody's seen. This is the Builder DAO leaderboard. I have had a thorough lead for about a year, and he's been just in the past few months creeping. He's making his way up. So, but he doesn't know something that I know, and that I have 2 other wallets, sir, that you're not aware of. But anyway, just letting you know that. I see you, Yes to Crypto.
I feel like he knows it now.
He knows it now. I have 2 other wallets, but he doesn't know what's in them. So, I can always just throw them back in there if I need to. Yeah, he just found out. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens here. That's funny. So thanks so much, Peachy. Don't want to hold you. I'll hold you up. Thank you so much. Love that you were here. And yeah, we're going to see who else wants to come up from the chat. And sorry for the challenges. What did the invite from the chat ever work? Or did you have to go to the other link? I'm just curious.
Yes. It was not you guys. Safari did not like it. It did not like Safari.
Okay.
It told me to go try another browser. And then my browser that I tried next was Chrome, and I had the security settings a little too tight. So I had to go back in like the system settings and tell it like, yes, the mic is okay. Yes, the camera's okay. And then I had to restart and come back. So it wasn't you guys at all. It was more that my technology was like a little too locked down and Safari was not playing nice, which, doesn't surprise me. Sometimes Safari does its own thing.
All right. Will, I just sent you an invite if you want to pop up. That's good to know, though. That's really useful info for us. So I appreciate you giving us that feedback, because that's good for us to know for what we're doing next. So, and if anybody else is in the chat, if you are in the chat on StreamYard, drop us a note if you would like to pop up. And thank you, Peachy. We're going to let you go, and we're going to bring up Willy Wonka to talk a little bit about Noun Space. And actually, Willy and Noun Space Tom, let me clarify. Too funny. Too funny. Noun Space Tom is a lovely dude. I've done some selfies with him as well at Consensus. Willy, welcome to GM in the PM. How are you doing this happy Friday?
Tom and I are both having the best day ever. Glad to be here. Thanks
amazing.
We're rocking our GM Farcaster nogs.
These are technically Builder DAO noggles, I have to say, but they are purple. And by the way, in the /Builder channel, if you own a pair of these and you were at Basecamp or FWB Fest and you got a pair, snap a picture or throw one up from your experience there and pop it in that channel. We are running around right now. You can win some ETH. So very fun. So what's going on with Noun Space? Tell us real quick. You got a couple seconds to throw us up there. Tell us what's going on. Do you want to take over the share? I'll let you share.
I tried to share my screen. Can you see it?
There you go. Yeah,
cool.
There you go.
So yeah, this is the Noun Space homepage. If you guys aren't familiar with Noun Space yet, we are a new Farcaster client inspired by the customizability of MySpace. And we were one of the 3 projects that got funded by Nouns DAO. On April 1st, we got a $100,000 grant to build a Nounish Farcaster client. So this is the client that Tom envisioned, and the team's been working super hard all on-chain summer to bring this to life. We launched it on July 2nd. And so right now it's in private alpha. So you have to have these Nogs NFTs, which you can mint right from the fidget on our homepage. Right now it's like 0.0111 ETH, or if you're like a member of Purple DAO or Nouns or NARS or Yellow Collective, a lot of Nounish communities, then you can also mint one for free for like $2. And then soon we're going to open up the alpha token gate and let all the Farcaster users in. But you still want these Nogs because they'll give you early access to new features and premium access for life. We have some premium features planned. Plus, They just look great. They go with every outfit.
They're just cute. They go with everything. Yes, absolutely. I like that you call everything fidgets. I think that's really cute. You had some really cute fidget spinners. I wish I had mine handy. I don't have it here. That was really fun way to brand. It was a really good idea for, swag. What can you just give me what's the vision of Noun Space and why is it called Noun Space? Just for everybody who does not know.
Yeah, well, we want to be the best Farcaster client. And we think that the way to do that is by bringing customizability back to social. We think it's something that's been missed since the MySpace days, like Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, even Warpcast. Warpcast does have some cool stuff with frames, but really they're not very customizable. You kind of have to color within their lines. And we think that there's a lot of opportunity to let people express themselves and give users and communities the tools to share the content, the vibes, and the functionality that they want to with their audience. So what we came up with to do this is kind of 3 core features for our first version. There's fidgets, which are these little building blocks. They're mini apps. For the technical folks out there, they're just React components. So I like to call them like frames on crack because they're much more powerful. In fact, we have a frame fidget right here. So you can embed any frame from Farcaster in a fidget and embed that either on your home base, which I'll show you guys in a second. A home base is just a space that basically only you can see. It's like your home feed, but fully customizable. And then we call your public profile a space. So you can embed these fidgets on either your home base or your space. We've got a growing list of fidgets. We're looking forward to creating a fidget SDK so that anybody can build any kind of cool fidget they can imagine. And you can configure these fidgets as well. And so I'll show you that in a second. That's one of the core features. The other big feature is themes. So the ability to customize the look and the sound, even with music. So things like fonts and background colors. I can show you guys all that in a second. But here you can see like we're eating our own dog food on our own homepage. We're using these fidgets to like share the content and the functionality that we want to share with you on our homepage. And you can see here's Farcaster right here, even without being logged in. So I'll log in real quick. We're using Privy, so shout out to Privy for making it really easy to give users.
We love Privy. We love Henry. We love the whole team.
They're great.
Love the Privy team. Fantastic.
And actually, what I have here on my home base, I was working on the home base or the space for nouns.
Oh, fantastic.
So we have the nouns channel feed right here. I'm not sure why these images aren't loading, but that's why we're still in private alpha. We have the noun swap. So here's an example of like an iframe that you can embed. So we have an iframe fidget, and there's a ton of different websites you can put in here. Like we could drop like a paragraph post in here and just like embed any of our paragraph posts.
Oh, that's cool.
Or like a whole library of paragraph. If we just wanted to show like all the different noun space posts, we could drop that in there. So really, you can see how just like a simple fidget like iframes also gives us just like infinite possibilities. And it's the same thing with frames. So just all these cool frames you can embed. This is just a text fidget. This is another iframe fidget with a video. And then here we have a Nounish governance fidget where you can keep track of all the different Nounish proposals. And right now, if you want to vote, we kick you over to camp. But in theory, we could have the voting in here. We actually have a snapshot.
That would be ideal.
Yeah.
It would be cool to see a purple page as well, similar to this with those details. I think that would be super helpful. And have the bidding right there would be great. I think that would be super useful.
I agree. And so purple, we just hooked up all the purple community with Nogs. I know we've sent purple a few Nogs as well.
Cool.
And as soon as they get the space customized, we'll feature it here on the explore page. So we're starting to add some new featured spaces. Nouns will be up here too. So because we're funded by Nouns, they want to give back as much as we can. And we think Noun Space is actually a really great way to do that because as you can see here, we have like, not only do we have Nounish communities on top, we have other communities that aren't really integrated with Nouns in any way until now. So like Keep Key Hardware Wallet, Shapeshift, which I think is pretty cool. So like here's an opportunity for Nouns to create and give value to all these different projects and communities throughout the Web3 space and even in the Web2 space. You can imagine how a lot of this might be useful to even a Web2 user, whereas like Warpcast is kind of hard to get a non-Web3 user excited about, like a decentralized Twitter. But a fully customizable social app that's inspired by MySpace, which a lot of us have nostalgia for, we think can be like really compelling to an even broader audience than what we're currently seeing just with Warpcast and some of the other.
Do you have any are you helping brands create some of their pages? Like if we had somebody who had their own, like a Shapeshift, but somebody in the Web3 space who wanted help with this, is that something you can do to sort of make it a little bit more like that one looked amazing with the background animation and all of that, but they may not have the time or skill to do that. Is that something you could assist with, or even if it's a paid service?
I would be happy to do it for free right now. We want to get all these cool communities on board, so I'd be super happy to. We're working on a feature for smart URLs where you can share any theme or any fidget or any tab, like a complete tab with someone via a URL, and then also get credit for referring them if they're a new user. So we think that will be like, we thought about like, oh, should we just let the Noun Space admins go in and edit anyone's space, like even without their permission, basically. So, and we're like, well, maybe, but for now, why don't we start with like customizing their space and sending them a link and saying, hey, here's your space that we customized, just click here, and you can add it in a couple clicks.
So Yes to Crypto says you seem too young to have nostalgia for MySpace.
I was 12 years old. I don't think my parents would have let me be on MySpace if they knew I was on MySpace. But yeah, I was really excited to discover it as a 12-year-old. I thought it was the coolest website ever.
That's so fun.
I
And I was too old for MySpace. Like it was kind of like it was there. I think I probably still have a page. I don't even know, but I think I used it maybe once or twice and that was it. It just wasn't, nobody I knew was on there. It wasn't my vibe, but I really like the way some of these spaces are looking. So I think this is going to be really fun as it gets.
And I was not cool enough. I was not cool enough for MySpace. So I think I could have been the right age, but I don't know.
Prof had emo live journal. I did not even have that. I don't think you understand how old I am. All her feelings on the web. I think that's my current paragraph. Unpacking with Prof. That is my live journal, honestly, which I haven't done anything with lately. I need to get back to that too. Super fun. I love the way this is looking, and getting some really good comments. Just some fun CSS to pick from would be super helpful. I think making it as easy as people to customize would be great for those who don't want to, you just don't have the time to really play around with it, would be fantastic. Or templates or something, things like that. Oh, cool.
I love that feature request, and I'm glad you asked because I wanted to give you guys some alpha of staging right now. So we have a new feature that is literally exactly what you've requested. It's theme templates, and we have some HTML, CSS. So if you want, you can go in and you can customize your background with HTML and CSS.
Oh, that's awesome.
Pretty awesome. And all of these were basically done with the help of AI. AI did a lot to help create these.
Wow.
So you can go right now. We're going to have this natively integrated at some point where you can just prompt directly in Nounspace, like what you want your space to look like, and then boom, get auto-generated code. But right now you can do it and copy paste. You can go to your favorite AI tool and say, I want a space that looks like X. You know, I want a purple space with unicorns and rainbows that follow the mouse, right? And then the AI is so good, it'll give you perfect code. You can paste over here. Make sure you ask it for a single HTML, CSS file. That's what you need right now. I think we got a tooltip to remind you about that.
That's really cool. That is very cool. Oh, wow.
And so
okay.
We're making it easier. You can still go customize these further, but we're giving people theme templates, and soon you'll be able to, again, share these and import other cool theme templates. We'll have a leaderboard for like the hottest theme templates. So maybe yes to crypto, we'll see you on the top of that.
He loves
very,
the leaderboard.
very excited, and so cool to hear that it's like a feature request for something that we're about to ship.
That's great. That was perfect. We did not. So Bar Lucid, I don't know if you were teeing him up or not, but well done.
I'll pay you
fantastic.
Later.
Yeah. Just send her a nog. Just send her a nog. She'll be happy. This is great. So thank you so much, Willie, for popping up, and Tom. Sorry, Tom and Willie. Do you have any other questions, Adrian? I kind of just let him run there, but
yeah, let him run. It was great. I think the only question I had, which I'm just curious, I don't know, is there Nouns funded three Farcaster clients, and I've heard a lot about Nounspace. Do you know what are the other two? Are you keeping up with them? Do you know where they are?
So yeah, the other two are Gabriel Yusuf and JB Rubinovitz. And I know Gabriel got hired by Farcaster or Warpcast, pretty awesome. And he released 498.wtf, which like takes a lot of the different Nounish content and aggregates it. It's not technically a client because you can't sign in with Farcaster. So, but I think he's still working on it.
He's still working on it. Yeah.
JB Rubinovitz is working on Nouns Social. I believe she's still working on it as well. But it shows how it takes a lot of work to build a client. It takes time, even when you have like super skilled, experienced developers. I think we were lucky to be able to get together a team. I don't think we would have been able to do it with a solo dev or like a couple devs. So we've had like a lot of support, both from our internal team, and then also want to give a shout out to like Benjamin Latsko from Nouns, who did the branding for Nounspace and helped us do all these nogs, did all the hand-drawn frames.
Oh, I didn't know he did those. That's cool.
For Nouns, which was pretty cool, and his excitement for the project. So yeah, we've been pretty blessed. It's been a lot of work. There's been a lot of late nights this summer to get this to this point. And as you can see, it's still pretty early. There's still a lot of stuff we've got to do to improve. But yeah, we were pretty happy to be one of the only clients live right now. And we're preparing to ask Nouns for some more grant funding to keep building this, because we delivered on like the V0. And we think this is a great opportunity for Nouns to proliferate in new ways, not only build great tools for all the Nounish communities and have a great Nounish Farcaster client that all the Nouners can use, but also help expose Nouns and all the cool stuff that Nouns is doing to other communities outside of Nouns. So we think it's a great opportunity. And we're going to be
so very cool. So if you are liking Nounspace, help Willie out and just share that on the timeline in the Nouns channel, because that will help him when he goes up for a prop. So, and I do see some fans in here. And also I hear, did Nounspace Tom join Purple? Is that what's happening?
Yeah, Nounspace Tom joined Purple before me somehow. So now he's peer pressuring.
Oh my God. He's so on the cutting edge always. He folds very easy to peer pressure also.
He does fold very easily.
I love a cardboard pun anytime I can get it. So amazing. Thank you so much for popping in. I'm just going to check the chat really quick. If there's anybody else who wants to pop up, last call before we call it for the evening and head out for this happy Friday. If anyone else wants to pop up, but I really appreciate you popping up. And I should have known. I should have known you'd be ready to go. You're always ready for the pitch, and I love that. I love that about you.
So I feel bad, just like Peachy was saying, she feels bad about casting on Purple. I feel bad about casting so much about Nounspace for all my followers, but there's a lot of stuff going on in the Farcaster world these days, so it's tough to make some noise. And we would really appreciate if anyone who's would come check out Nounspace, give it a try, and let us know what you'd like to see next, or if there's anything that's confusing. We would love to hear that feedback. All right. Well, Peachy loves the AI CSS. Fantastic nugget. Her page is purple and sparkly now, and that's amazing. So there you go. Can't wait to check it out. Lots of happy Friday to everybody. Love seeing all this love, and shout out to the park. Last time I saw you, Willie, we were hanging out with the park at FWB Fest. It was amazing. And yeah, so happy Friday, everybody. And I think we're going to call it. So we're going to say goodbye to Willie, and then we're going to wrap up. So thanks so much for popping by. We appreciate you. Happy Friday, friends. We'll see you on the timeline. So thanks, Willie. And thanks everybody for hanging out with us. Wish I wasn't on the road. I would love to jump in and say hi. Sorry, Just Build. Next time we'll do this again sometime soon. Oh, that's right. So there's a link. If you guys can, if you're in the chat, you can copy and paste, and I'll reshare it again. The Park at Fest. It was an incredible experience. So if you're not familiar with the park, go check out the Park channel on Warpcast. They're pretty amazing. I don't know if you realize this, Adrian, but we are about 1 month away from something. Do you know what exactly 1 month from today is?
Of course I know what 1 month from today is about.
It's our 1 year anniversary of GM Farcaster.
Yeah, what were you doing last September?
Last September 13th. Yeah, I was doing the very first episode of GM Farcaster with you. So it is coming up. We're going to be celebrating a year. So I think it's on a Friday. I think we're going to need to do this again. Again then.
We have a decent number of people who popped in. I know Peachy said, I think she appreciated later time. If anyone listening in or joining, if you like the later time, let us know, because we talked about maybe doing a regular one anyway, but curious. But the Friday night ones are funny because we
didn't think we'd get this many people either. Nothing worked. We had all kinds of tech problems, but we also weren't sure how many folks would be available. So
the chat was totally unhinged. Even if
totally it was unhinged. Hilarious. I have no idea who that was. I could guess it was Dwoofy, but I could be wrong. Felt Dwoofy like. Since only because Lynx was on the stage at the time.
Exactly. Can't be in two places at once.
Something else. Oh, hey, Renee is in here. Fantastic. Renee and Valerie from Valerie. That's V Dizzle. I know her as V Dizzle. Great to see you as well. And Renee, speaking of, I was going to try and get this out today, but didn't quite get there. Next week, we will have another Hear from the Art. It is amazing by Renee Campbell. So excited. And a podcast that I did with her as well. And don't get nervous, Renee. It was fantastic conversation. And both of those are going to drop next week. I also just realized I didn't drop the podcast, airdrop it to those holders of Brian Morris's piece, but I'm going to do that this weekend and get those to you. And we're excited. We're excited. So we will see you back on Monday, our regular time, and we have a special guest. Do you want to let everybody know on Monday?
Yes. We actually, I'm working on a few special guests bringing in to level up the seriousness of our show. I've got, so Murtaza is coming in on Monday to join us.
Very exciting.
If you don't know Murtaza, then you're not on Farcaster.
And that's going to be interesting because we are attempting to not talk politics, and I think that's going out the window on Monday.
I think we can talk meta politics
without
talk actually talking politics.
General.
I think
that's a good idea.
Murtaza has a fascinating background. So
US politics. We'll talk global. And anything else do we have coming up? Who else is coming up? I thought there was somebody else. Oh,
not yet, but I am having, but Nat, who Nat Eliason,
That's right.
Is it Eliason? Nat,
yep.
Who wrote Crypto Confidential. I've been chatting with him. He's going to pop in at some point. So dates TBD, but we'll keep bringing guests in, and
absolutely.
And yes, we will ask him. We will ask Murtaza why he doesn't like Japanese food. And
okay, I missed that.
There was
so we will have to ask that.
There were casts today about top 5 cuisines.
Okay. Whoops, I keep trying to hide
Japanese
it.
food didn't make the list.
Okay, interesting. I missed that one. I'll have to go look for that. All righty. So we will see you on Monday, 8:30 a.m. Have a lovely weekend, and to all, a happy Friday. Yeah, so have a good one, everybody. Thank you for popping by. This has been GM in the PM. Bye-bye.